Everyone, welcome to Glass Half Dead. I've put this here because I was getting tired of using this for the first thing, but we do have to use this first. But we are now talking today about Krogskull's boys and how to start an Orc kill team. In this video, we're going to have a quick rundown of the Orcs as a faction in Kill Team, and then also the cheapest way to get into them, and also the slightly more moderate and comprehensive way to get into them, and then how to, if you're a bit like me and you kind of go all in, that's your thing, how to go all in on Orcs, but also not actually just buy literally everything they have. Orcs, yeah. They're in the book somewhere. Here we go. One of the advantages of Orcs that may not immediately present itself is just how much fun they are. They have some of the best backgrounds, mission squad quirks, and specialist demeanors of the entire book, just because they're fun. For example, a specialist demeanor here, you roll a 9, foul gob. None can challenge or taunt the foe with as much zeal and mockery as this Orc. That's fun. That is fun. So, okay, obviously I'm thinking about Kill Team as a competitive thing, but you know what? If I've rolled up a specialist as a foul gob, yeah, I'm going to have a list of insults to take to every tournament to shout whenever he does something. Or, perhaps, for example, speed is its own reward. For these Orcs, it's all about going as fast as they can, because the fastest lads win. Or Fist of Gork, or Mork. As the spear tip of a larger attack, this kill team must clear the way before the hordes that follow. Now, that one's not as interesting, I just liked the name. There you go. But there's a lot of good stuff in here, and they've done a very good job of making the Orcs very characterful. For example, the Orc name generator table, instead of having first name, last name, they have front bit, other bit. That's fun. When it comes to your Orc tactics, again, good stuff. You know, it's a tactic, it can't be too crazy, otherwise everyone would complain. But for example, you have Grot Shield. If you take a Gretchen in your kill team, use this tactic at the start of the shooting phase. Pick a model from your kill team that is within 2 inches of a Gretchen model. Until the end of the phase, while that Gretchen model is on the battlefield, any attacks which target the chosen model are resolved against the Gretchen model instead. That's for 2 command points. Now, for 2 command points, you're probably only going to be using that on your leader, so that you deny the enemy some victory points. But, pretty good. Also, very characterful, very flavorful. Okay, Orc units. The Orc Boy, the Gretchen, the Commander, the Burner Boy, and the Loota. You've got 5 options here. Or, to look at it another way, 6 points, 3 points, 8 points, 12 points, 12 points. First, a few things to take into account. Everything has a 6-up save. You're screwed. If you get hit, you're dead. Okay? You may as well not be rolling armor saves. That's the way to take this. Also, ballistic skill. Grots have ballistic skill 4-up, but we can ignore that. Everything else has 5-ups. So basically, you're hitting on 6s. Let's be honest, with the amount of minus to hits in Kill Team, because, you know, there's a small mosquito between you and your target, you're hitting on 6s. With that in mind, you really need to think about weight of fire. You can't hit anything reliably. You can't have a sniper. So you're never re-rolling 1s. I think that's what a sniper does. I should probably look that up. You can get comms. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. Oh, also, you're really slow. I mean, 5 inches? How far do Necrons move? They might be slow. 5s. Okay. You're the same speed as Necrons. And Necrons are renowned for being slow. Therefore, we are slow. Orcs are slow. I'm a human. Know what you're talking about. Let's go straight to Burner Boys. What are Burner Boys? Why am I talking about them first? Because they come in the Krogskull Boys box. So obviously they are kind of a go-to choice. for orcs, right? And I think there's a very obvious reason for that. The reason there is their guns, the burner. Let's take a look at the burner, shall we? So it's both a ranged and a melee weapon. So it's an 8-inch assault D3, strength 4 weapon, but it automatically hits. It's a flamer. It's a flamer. Well, it's a D3 flamer. This gets around any sort of issues with your terrible, truly terrible ballistic skill. So that's good. And chances are in Kill Team, if they're charging you, they will be within 8 inches. So you get D3 hits on anyone charging you. That's not, that's nothing to sneeze at. And then melee, AP -2. You pretty much remove everybody's armor save. The other thing of note while we're here is the combi weapon with Scorcher. So it's a Scorcher again, except it's assault D6 instead of D3. It's got 1 extra strength and it's -1 AP and it still automatically hits. That's what a burner should be. It's what a flamer should be. Jeez, it's great. Who can take that? Good question. The Orc Boy Boss Knob. This guy's your leader. You can give him a big chopper or power claw if you want, but that's more points. If you're taking him, there's not really a great reason to not take a combi weapon with Scorcher. That is genuinely your standout weapon for orcs. So get it in there. Good stuff. Personally, I give him a big chopper instead of a power claw. Why do I do that? It's just +2 strength, -1 AP, 2 damage. Whereas the power claw, okay, it means your strength 10. You will be wounding on 2-ups if you use the power claw, which is great, and you'll be removing everybody's armor because it's AP -3 and you're doing D3 damage. But you do subtract 1 from the hit roll. So you're only hitting on 4s. Meh. Meh. With the big chopper, you're +2 strength. So that means your strength 7. So you're not doubling out Marines, obviously. But you will double out Eldar, or wound on 2s is what I mean when I say double out. But then also the power claw is 4 points as opposed to the big chopper, which is 2. So swings and roundabouts as always. One thing to keep in mind are the Orc Boys. They're really good. They're really efficient points. If you just take Orc Boys, you're not going to go too far wrong, honestly. Sluggers and choppers, so you're getting an extra attack and a pistol shot. Wait, you don't get an extra attack. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, you do. God, it's like I know the rules or something. So you're getting 3 attacks plus a pistol shot in the shooting round. You're killing most things, honestly. And that's 6 points. Yeah. You could go with a shooter, but let's not forget how terrible our orcs. Let's not forget how terrible orcs' ballistic skill is. And the shooter is only 18 inches. So you need to be within 9 inches to hit on 5s. It's like, may as well just charge again, advance. However, the big shooter, well, that's a bit more questionable. So an Orc Boy gunner, you can have 2 of them. They can be a heavy if you want. Can opt to take a big shooter or a rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is just a rocket launcher. You probably don't need to know about that. But it's 24 inches, strength 8, AP -2, damage 3. Great. But you're hitting on 6s. It's 1 shot a turn. The big shooter, on the other hand, range 36, assault 3, strength 5. It's the assault 3 you're really there for. And it's assault, so you're not worse off for moving and advancing. Yeah, but you get 3 shots. There you go. So it would be entirely reasonable to always take 2 big shooter Orc Boys. 6 shots a turn. Okay, don't think of the statistics and how you're only going to hit once a turn. Shh, we don't need to think about that. Either way, the Boss Knob is actually really good. I'd almost say he's a must-take. Unless, because you take him as your leader. Then we need to think about the Grots, okay? Now, the Grots can be a leader as well. Bizarre, yes. but they can. And oh, they can't do anything. There's no point even going over it. The Grot Blaster is a strength 3, 12-inch pistol. You know, it's worse than the Slugger. They do hit on 4s, but again, with Kill Team, it may as well be 6s. Strength 2, toughness 2. They're terrible. They're terrible. Their big thing is that they are only 3 points. And of course, you can use Grot Shield with them. Cool. So, there you go. The only real reason to take more than one for the Grot Shield would be to, if you're role playing the whole Grot Revolutionary kind of thing, in which case, go crazy. Please do. But to make them actually fighting effective, really difficult. Yeah, as it is. Except if you take one as your leader. Now, yes, he will die if the enemy sees you, but here is an orc boy, okay? Here is a random grot. Half the size. Literally half the size, okay? So this guy as your leader, if you want to cheese it, you could hide him behind a bit of rubble far more easily than you can hide a boy or a knob or a spanner. Okay, I've been over burner boys. They're good. At first, I didn't get why they were the unit picked for Krogskull's boys, but they are good. I think they are a real staple of orcs, actually. Let's go to commandos. So, Sneaky Gits. When an enemy player makes a hit roll with a shooting attack that targets this model, and this model is obscured, that hit roll suffers an additional -1 modifier. Commandos are going to be really hard to hit. In a game where everything is really hard to hit. There's not much more to it than that. You can take a knob who's just +1 strength, +1 wound, +1 attack. And he can take a power claw. I haven't played them. I'm not sure how useful Sneaky Gits really is. It sounds good, but again, in a game where everyone's basically hitting on 5 or 6s, what's another -1? You know? And then we go to looters. So the looters get a def gun. Let's take a look at the def gun. So 48 inches. So at that range, you're basically, again, you're not going to be shooting at long range, most likely. But you're still hitting on 6s. They're going to be obscured. So, yeah. It's heavy D3. So, you know, maybe you'll have a chance of getting a shot every other turn hit. Strength 7, AP -1, damage 2. If you hit with it, it's pretty good, obviously. But, as it is, yeah. If they could have been snipers, and you made one a sniper, one of the looters a sniper, and you had a comms guy next to him, so you were getting some rerolls, maybe you want to go with him. I could see that. But as it is, I think I would really struggle to say, yes, I'll take a looter over a burner boy. And the final option is, with both the burner boys and the looters, is to upgrade one to a spanner. The only difference between a normal one and a spanner is that identical stat lines, except there's a maximum for the number of spanners. But a spanner can be a comms. Oh, and interestingly, any burner boy or looter can be a leader, whereas with the orc boys and the commandos, they have to be a knob to be a leader. So there you go. So the spanner can take this beast here, a custom Mega Blaster. Look at it. Please ignore my terrible painting. There you go. So, oh, so sorry. They can take that. They can also take a big shooter, or they can take, no. So they come with big shooters and stick bombs. but they can replace the big shooter with a custom Mega Blaster or a rocket launcher. So similar to the Ork Boy Gunners, if you wanted to just keep them with the big shooter, just have more lead being thrown down range, that's a pretty good idea, to be honest. Like, yeah, go for it. One thing to note is the spanners are actually cheaper than the burners and looters by 2 points. But then they're the same as an Ork Boy Boss Knob, 10 points. So the custom Mega Blaster, 24 inches. Again, we're running into the same issue as we knew we would. You're hitting on 6s and you've only got 1 shot per turn. But it is strength 8, AP -3, damage D3. So if you hit, you are wounding on 2s with Marines, and you are removing their armor save as well. So pretty good, and you're potentially, I mean, if you hit, it's great, but it's a 1 in 6 chance. Why not go with a big shooter and make it a 1 in 2 chance? Basic maths. Also, if you roll a 1, you take a mortal wound. Which, does a spanner have? No, that will kill your spanner. If you roll a 1, your spanner dies. So keep that in mind. And you probably therefore want, is it the comms that lets you reroll 1s? The custom Mega Blaster is a gamble. It is the embodiment of Orkish weaponry in that 1 in 6 times you hit the enemy, 1 in 6 times you die. So yeah, there you go. Right, that is the Ork Kill Team.